Hi there, my name is Trudy. Many of you know me as One Grounded Angel because I try to deliver angel card readings in a grounded way. So I'm here to do a weekly angel card reading for the week starting the 6th of July through to the 12th of July 2020. So many of us are feeling a little bit rattled. We had a lunar eclipse, a partial lunar eclipse on Sunday for most, depending on where you live. But the energy around that was pretty intense. So it's really just deepening that full moon energy, and it was in the sign of Cancer, which is ruled by the moon. So it's always going to be big. And it's also, Cancer's all about emotions and home and family and maternal energy, all that stuff that is being highlighted during lockdown, in particular, the home and family stuff anyway. I would say also emotions are pretty heightened right now. So I hope you've been able to navigate your way through it. Remember, one day at a time, this too will pass, shall pass. And just remember that sometimes the full moon can really highlight what it is we need to let go of. So even though emotions can be intense, maybe they're intense because it's showing you where something's not working anymore. So I've just drawn Monday's card, and remember these cards do not predict the future. That's not my jam. I'm here to convey messages from Spirit via these cards that help you make good decisions for whatever's going on in your life. And my deep desire is to empower you to make changes. There are certain people in spirituality who really want to concentrate on the passive side of it, in terms of just asking the universe to fix things. Oh, something's wrong, let's just ask the angels. That's not me. I don't operate like that. My thing is, we need to take the reins. We need to be in charge. We don't wait for the universe to tell us what we should do. We decide what feels right for us, guided by Spirit, and then we ask Spirit to help us. So that's really where I operate from. I'm a place of empowerment, and really remembering that the universe isn't in charge of our lives. We are. We work with the universe. This is a partnership. And here's a great example here for Monday. The card is Archangel Michael. Michael is associated with strength, courage, confidence, and protection, all those big energies. The name Michael means he who is next to God. So we're talking big energy here. And the archangels are like a higher realm of angels who are available to all of us. Not just your guardian angels who are only allocated to you. Archangels are available for anyone to talk to at any time. They can be with all of us simultaneously. So please don't worry that if you call on Michael, for example, that you're pulling him away from something else that might be more important. By some magic, they can be with everyone. So you'll notice I said him. Michael is depicted commonly as a man, but remember, they're not humans. They don't have agenda. They don't get angry at us. They don't have emotions. They don't have those kind of pulls. So please don't worry about upsetting them or bothering them or anything like that. So call on Michael if you need a hit of courage, of confidence, of strength, whatever it is, he's good for that. If you're feeling afraid, sometimes I will, if I'm on my own at night, I might ask for Michael to be with me. Those sorts of things. Obviously, I'm not deliberately putting myself in these situations, but sometimes it happens. I'm like, I need a bit of courage here. So Michael is your spiritual bodyguard. So call on him for anything you need that help with. And if this is coming up, then I would say it looks like a lot of you are going through some challenging times at the moment. Try to avoid the tendency to think the universe is punishing me. If things are tough, it doesn't mean you're being punished. It just means sometimes life is hard, and that's what we need to go through to learn something. But my personal opinion is trying to look for the lesson while you're in it can be really challenging. So don't force it if that's not coming naturally. Sometimes it's only in hindsight we can figure out what the lesson was. So Tuesday, we have a beautiful card here called Imagine. And so this is a very water sign kind of energy coming through here, which Cancer is, which we had the recent full moon in. So really stepping into our creative side, doing a little bit of daydreaming, paying attention to our dreams, could be that Piscean type energy. Try not to get stuck in, this is the most likely, therefore I will go with that. That kind of rational driven thought process, which I know I'm certainly not disregarding the role of rational thought, but I am saying we need to have a balance between that and what else is coming through. Sometimes our intuition will guide us in directions that don't seem likely. For example, you might be being guided to apply for a job that Maybe someone like you has not got before. It's always traditionally been people from, a particular background or a particular experience level. So try to look at possibilities rather than likelihoods, looking at imagining that things can be different. And this is so relevant for where the world is at right now. We are being shown how broken our world is in terms of the way different people are treated, in terms of the way we are focusing on money instead of on relationships, etc. And so we're in the process of building this better world, and the only way we're going to be able to do that is by imagining how things can be different. We're needing to start again from the ground up, and that means not going with, well, that's never worked before, so this is the way it's always been, so that's the way it's going to stay. None of that. We need to look at what is possible for us, and really letting our imagination take the lead here. Wednesday's card, this is Archangel Michael's personal card deck, not his obviously, but the person who created this card deck channeled Michael's energy. So we had this exact same card last Tuesday. Romance angels are helping you. So relationship energy was huge last week, and I noticed a lot of you really took up the opportunity to go, I think the universe is trying to prompt me to make some changes here, and reached out to me to book in some healing to help you through any blocks that are coming up in your love life, which is a great thing to do. Remembering, as I said earlier, we don't just wait for a soulmate to knock on the door. We don't just wait for the universe to fix the problem. We figure out, what do I need to do to fix this, to get what I want, and work with the universe to make it happen. So definitely working through any hidden fears, limiting beliefs, any blocks there going on in your energy that are keeping what you want at bay, the relationship that you want at bay. So the card does let you know the universe wants to work with you, but again, we have to take the lead. We cannot be passive participants in our lives. We need to be active. Thursday's card here is practice makes perfect. So actually, I'm just going to circle back in case you didn't see last week's video or you didn't see the card. I should give a bit more information. If you are single, this is the angels helping you, and you want to attract a relationship. I'm aware not everybody does, but if that is you, the angels are letting you know they want to work with you to help that happen. So, but you need to figure out what it is, where the blocks are. Are you going to work with a therapist to help you with that, or an energy healer such as myself? It doesn't have to be me, of course. Are you going to look at really doing some healing on the baggage you're carrying from past relationships, etc., and how you're going to go about that? If you are in a relationship, how can you bring back some romance? Really channeling that beautiful romantic energy. If you're not a touchy-feely person, that's okay. You don't have to do anything that doesn't resonate for you, but just making sure you're not, I know I talk about this a lot, but taking your partner for granted, that you're not having transactional conversations all the time. You're actually having conversations that are not just about the kids and the grocery bills or whatever. You're actually talking about, what do we want? Are we still on the same page? Where are we going? Where do we see ourselves going? Are we still honouring what we set out to do when we, really got together and perhaps got married, if you're married? If you are dating, and you're sort of at that point of going, I don't know if there's a future in this, or I don't know where this is going, this might be a good time to really tune into your intuition and make sure that you are seeing what is really there, not what you want to be there. You cannot have a relationship with someone's potential, only with their reality, where they're at right now. So maybe that's the invitation for you, is to step into that and look at what's really going on there. And the angels can help you identify what it is you need to know. If there's work to do, if there's a conversation that needs to be had, or maybe if it is about releasing. I will go back to this card now. Thursday, practice makes perfect. Super boring, I know, but the thing is, we're not very good at being in things for the long haul, because we live in a world where we can pick up our phones out of our pockets or purses and just order something to show up on our doorstep. We don't need to, wait for things as much. We can look something up to get the answer. We don't have to, pull out an encyclopedia or anything like that, for those of you who remember what encyclopedias are. But this card reminds us that things take time, things that are worth waiting for. We have to get away from this expectation of instant gratification and be committed to the long haul. It takes time to become really good at something, and that's why this angel is playing a harp. To become good at an instrument, you will need to work at it. And you don't need to be perfect, but if you practice, you will get close enough. I don't love the word perfect, to be honest. I try and avoid it. But I do think in this case it's worth remembering that to get to the outcome that you want, we need to be concentrating on what's right in front of me, what step do I need to take now, and committing to that rather than, oh my goodness, this is going to take so long, I'm out. I don't have any patience. Trying to be patient, that's really what it is, and focusing on steady growth. So that is Thursday's card. I'm shuffling now for Friday. I have not seen this card for a long time. I love it. It's one of the most beautiful illustrations in this particular card deck. The card is called Goddess, and it's about feminine energy. Now, no matter what gender you are, what gender you are born with, what gender you identify with now, we all have both masculine and feminine energy. Now, ideally, there would be a good balance of both. The masculine energy is all about us achieving in the world, our taking action, our striding forward. And the feminine energy is all about us nurturing, about our intuition, about us being creative. We need to be able to do both. Way back a couple of decades ago, the woman was in charge of raising the child in a straight relationship, and the man was in charge of going out into the world and getting, being an achiever. Pretty soon we realized that doesn't work. So we need to be able to do both. We need men who can nurture the children as well. We also need women to be able to go out and achieve in the workplace and in other fields. So we need to be able to do all of those things, and we need to make sure that we're not neglecting the feminine side, because that is the side that our patriarchal society would tell you is a weak side. It's weak to show your feelings. It's weak to be creative. That has no value in the world. You can't earn money from that. All that sort of nonsense we've been told. It's not true. This is the value. And I'm not discrediting the masculine energy here. That obviously has value too. We need to make sure we don't see one as strong and the other as weak. They're both strengths. We need to be able to work with both. Particularly this divine feminine energy. We can see this really rising in the world at the moment. And thank goodness, because it's much needed to restore some of the brokenness in this world. So stepping into your divine energy, maybe you spend more time nurturing yourself instead of just looking at nurturing other people. Maybe you try giving yourself the love that you were trying to give to other people all the time. You give yourself some self-care. Maybe you go and do something creative. That can be incredibly restorative and healing. And that could be something that really helps you express yourself, helps you be present, very good for stress relief too. What are some other ways to get into feminine energy? Dancing is huge. Dancing is all feminine. And I'm not saying, again, that you can't do it if you're a man. Definitely, please do it. Women love it. But it really does bring... Because when you're dancing, your body's moving to some sort of unspoken kind of pattern. It's very intuitive, and it's very good because, it really can help you get out of this head zone, stop thinking and start doing, and just moving intuitively. So, and it's fun, which is good for everybody. So what else comes through with the feminine energy? Oh, intuitive stuff is big. So maybe it's a good time to do some more development of your spirituality, whether that's doing an online course, getting an oracle card deck and doing your own readings, or reading a particular book or post, whatever it is. And Saturday's card is so beautiful. Here we have Sarasvati, who is the Hindu goddess of music, and she is here holding a sitar. The card is called The Arts. It is all about creative activities. It doesn't just have to be music, although I noticed that we've got a bit of a musical theme going on here. Music, of course, is one way the angels often communicate with us. So this is a call to step into your creativity. Now, please don't tell me you're not creative. I've heard that song before, and it's not true. Everybody has some creativity, but often we've been conditioned to think that that's a waste of time because we're not good at it. We feel like you have to be good at something in order to do it. And that's just completely not true. That's an example of masculine thinking being applied to something that is actually feminine. We're all about, when we're being creative, we're all about the process. We're not about the product. So please don't feel like you can't do something just because you feel like you're not Picasso, you can't paint. So really think about what you can do that's creative or free-flowing. And if creativity just feels like too big a block for you, maybe you can just mix up your routine today so you're not in robot mode. You're really challenging the way you normally operate. And if you are interested in getting into your creativity, I highly, highly recommend The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. There's a great interview with her. Oh, what was the podcast? I listened to a podcast interview. I think it was Russell Brand, his podcast. A very old book, but very good. And also Elizabeth Gilbert's Big Magic is fantastic. And she used to have a podcast about it as well, which I think is still available, also called Big Magic. Sunday, reward yourself. So this could be linking into what I said earlier about nurturing yourself. A lot of people will think that self-care is just about bubble baths and manicures, and that can definitely be part of it, but often self-care is just about the fundamental things we need to do. Go to bed early, cut down on the wine, eat a vegetable, that sort of thing. But in this case, they are highlighting the reward part of that. So when we deprive ourselves of pleasure, we're really sending a message to the universe about our value. We're saying, I don't deserve good things. And can you imagine if you send out a message like that to the universe, whether it's explicit or implicit, how do you think the universe is going to respond to that? Do you think the universe is going to want to send you good things? Because the universe we can only attract something that reflects where we're at. If we don't believe we deserve good things and we don't act in a way that shows that we believe we deserve good things, we're not going to easily attract good outcomes or blessings. And it's not to say you're going to have a really crap life, but we want to make things flow as well as they can. We want to make things a bit easier for ourselves. So definitely rewarding yourself and showing that you know your value. You do deserve good things. You do deserve to reward yourself. You don't have to earn it. This isn't school. You don't need to get an A+ to deserve, a bunch of flowers or to deserve a coffee by yourself in a cafe, if that's available for you, depending on where you live, due to restrictions. There are other great ways to reward yourself that, they don't have to be tied to money and they don't have to be tied to achievement. So please try not to deprive yourself or think that I don't deserve this. You're a child of the universe. You deserve good things. And the way you treat yourself, of course, is emblematic of the way that other people will treat you. So we need to be really conscious of that. So when I look at the cards, I think there is a big theme around creativity and getting into that kind of, is it left brain? I can't remember. I think it's the left brain that's more the creative, free-flowing side. I might be wrong about that. But also some sort of encouraging messages, encouraging us to sort of keep going and to draw on the hidden strength we have. And remember, if you're asking Michael for a boost of courage or strength, Michael's not going to give that to you from the universe. He's just going to bring it to the fore from within you. You already are strong enough. It's just that you are maybe not aware of that and not accessing that. So that's where Michael comes in to help. So really delicious ending to the week here with the reward and the creativity. That's a pretty great weekend in my view. So there it is, everybody. I hope you have a terrific week. I know things have been a bit intense lately, so maybe that's even more of a reason for us to be really doubling down on the self-care and rewarding ourselves right now. I hope that's been helpful for you. Please remember, if you want a reading that is more tailored to your individual needs rather than these very general messages I'm giving here, the best way to do that is to book a reading with me, which I do over Zoom. Please don't worry about where you live in the world. Borders are no barrier for me. And payment can all be done over PayPal. So currency is also not an issue. The best way to do that is via my website, www.onegroundedangel.com. Tons of information about the services I offer there, as well as a booking form. Or if you just want to have a chat, the best way to do that is to email me, onegroundedangel@gmail.com. Remembering, of course, I can't give you super targeted information without being in the space of a healing or a reading. And of course, the energy healing work I mentioned, in particular in regard to this relationship block stuff, is also, you can also reach me via those same means to do that. So I hope that's been helpful for you. Remember, each card is on my Instagram each day at OneGroundedAngel and on my Facebook page, One Grounded Angel. Take care, everybody, and reward yourself.